Hi and welcome to another live stream from StoreX. For anybody who hasn't joined before, let me quickly introduce myself. So my name is Martin White. I work for a company called StoreX. StoreX are a small consultancy company that specialise in helping customers really to manage their unstructured data. To do that, we work with a single product, and that product is a solution from MicroFocus called ControlPoint. What makes StoreX slightly more unique than your average partner is that really two things. Firstly, that we can provide ControlPoint on a subscription basis, so it just makes it more flexible for our customers. You don't necessarily need to purchase outright ControlPoint, which could, for example, require a business case to be generated, a capital investment, where the subscription is more flexible, allowing you almost to subscribe for a much shorter periods, 3, 6 months, 12 months. We'll not have to do 12 years, but so you have that flexibility, and it almost is an OPEX investment as opposed to a capital investment. So that's enough around really what we do, I suppose the second thing I was going to mention is part of our uniqueness is that we're really working with customers to make sure that ControlPoint is integrated into their environment and delivers what it says on the box. And if we can do some form of integration, and that might require us writing some code to make it fit better into the organisation, then that's where we really stand apart, I suppose. So today's stream is really just to make you aware and show you, I suppose, that our capability in terms of writing some one-off piece of code. We recently, one of our largest customers wanted to have the policy manager inside ControlPoint notify business or unit leaders that before a selection of files could be moved, so they were going to move their files from one tier of storage to like a lower tier of storage, but approval would be required before allowing ControlPoint to go ahead and do that physical movement. And of course, if the department head didn't want the move to happen, then the policy could be rejected. This customer had also in the past migrated all their Exchange environment from on-premise into 365, into Azure. So everything was in the cloud in terms of their mailboxes. And the mechanism that ControlPoint uses to provide notification emails is via SMTP, which is fine. Although if you're in an Azure environment, then you need to provide your connection in a secure method, but you also require authentication to happen on the mailbox that's actually sending the messages. And that's something that isn't available currently inside ControlPoint. Yes, you can set up a secure connection, but that authentication component doesn't exist. And this presented our customer with quite a significant problem because, as I say, all their mailboxes were in 365. So we wrote a small add-on application to ControlPoint that really resolved this problem, and really just wanted to show you and walk you through that today, because the framework that we've designed to enable this email communication can easily be extended to other processes. For example, being able to log messages into a help desk ticketing system. So the framework can be extended quite easily, but the mechanism is in place, and that's really what I wanted to almost show you today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my my desktop, and hopefully I can just show you how we can, let's say, make ControlPoint, send these notification messages. So if you bear with me a second, I'll share my desktop to our lab environment. So let me switch. Now, hopefully, you guys are seeing this. So this is ControlPoint within our demo lab environment. But pretty standard, nothing specialized. We're running 5.9.2, which happens to be the current version at the moment. But this functionality, we'll work on 5.8 and probably 5.7 as well. So we can re-engineer this functionality going back. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to select a repository. So I'm going to go into the repositories first of all, and I'm simply going to select a number of files, and we'll take it from our file system ingestion. And maybe we'll just select the files on an age basis. We'll change it to modified date, last modified. I'll select the files that are in this kind of category of 5 to 10 years. And when they appear on the right-hand side, we will just select a number of files, and we'll do maybe these. We'll just do this DB archive version 1.1 Excel spreadsheet. And now I'm going to assign a policy to that file. We have a policy here which is basically just called remove_leave. This is just performing a secure leave environment. So it's moving the file to a different location, but leaving the source in place. And this simply is for demonstration purposes. Probably in a real live environment, this will be a secure remove, where you're actually deleting the source file after you've copied it to an alternative location. So I'm just going to assign this this policy to that particular file. And then I'm going to jump into the policy manager. And I'm going to go into the policy that we've assigned. So remove_leave. And then I'm going to go into policy items, just so we get a bit more definition, or we can look at actually what it's presently doing. This is just refreshing. You can see a small icon at the bottom, which is refreshing. What we have here is we have a number of, and I can click on these. So awaiting review. So we've got a number of documents which are queued up and are waiting now for approval for some action to be taken against them. Okay, and so an email has been sent out notifying the business leaders, or whoever's been nominated, for them to connect, to review, and either approve or reject. So the policy can either be actioned or not, as the case may be. The policy is set on a schedule in the background. So just for the sake of demonstration purposes, I'm going to force the schedule to run now. So it will be action rather than waiting for the schedule to be executed. And I think it might already just happens to be executing now, which is really handy. So that should be running, and the file that we assign the category to should have or will be generating an email now to a mailbox, and allowing that person then to authenticate or approve the process or reject the process. So and once that's been once that process has been approved, then the files can be moved. Okay, so that's really how the system works in terms of getting that approval mechanism. And making sure that works. So if I simply go back now to my screen, so what I can show you now, I'm gonna stop sharing the windows to my lab environment, and hopefully we're going to a mailbox. That's basically it's an on-prem, but it's also just looking at messages in Azure as well. So you should see that the message has been generated and passed through. So let me, I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to reshare, but this time I'm going to share hopefully our mailbox environment. So hopefully you guys can see. So this now roughly at 10:38, which is about a minute ago. So this is the email message that had been generated. And I mentioned before, so you can see here that we've got a, expand that. This is an Azure mailbox. That's where the messages have come from. And if I click on this message, what it says here is that you're named as an administrator for this particular policy. The file name that is waiting for approval, and there are it just happens to be 22 other documents waiting for your approval. And here is there at the end. There's just a link to ControlPoint so that they can go straight into the policy manager. So the software basically holds, or that there is a template that you can define. So describe the contents of this email, or you can, if you don't have a template, then you simply get a default message that comes out and provides this information. I can click on this this link, and what that should do, I'm not sure if you'll see this, but what that should do is take to ControlPoint, so through to the policy manager, where I can then go in to the policy items, go into the documents that are waiting for approval, and here's our particular document, so I can select our document and then go approve, and then that would then be executed, and that file would then be moved to a different tier of storage. So a fairly quick one today, really just to give you a quick insight to how we can perform some quite complex but redesigned infrastructure that works for our customers. So the ability to be able to design something that allows them to extend the integration of ControlPoint. And as I mentioned before, this really could be a framework for other items. So we've demonstrated email here, but it could happily be another application or another component that you wanted to pass some communication to. So fairly quick, as I mentioned before, I just wanted to show you how we managed to solve this problem for the customer and really enhance their capability or their experience of ControlPoint, and that's really key to what we want to provide. So thank you for your time, and if we can be of any assistance, or you would like more information around how we actually design this infrastructure, then we'd reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to give you some more in-depth knowledge, and even talk to you further around how we can work possibly with you, really to introduce ControlPoint into your environment, so that you can start to control and regain the control of your unstructured data. So thank you for your time again. Please, if you've got any comments or any feedback, you pass it to us. That's all welcome. And if you need to contact us, our link is in the post on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to talk to you. So thanks for your time. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.